Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. The viewer on the left requested this. It will be a only compatibility. You could say twin flames compatibility. We're going to just compare the two charts. Now, the chart on the left I've done before, so we won't spend a lot of time on the left. We will on the right, just seeing the compatibility and how they connect. So just give me momentarily. I'm just looking at both charts. It is interesting because if you notice, they both have the true north node, which is life purpose in Virgo. And they have Lilith. They both have Lilith in Jupiter. All right. So the person to the right, their first house is going to be in Pisces. That's their ascendant and their east point. Ascendant is where the sun was going over the horizon when they were born. And the east point is when the sun was going over the ecliptic when they were born. But this person will be inspirational. They have some form of spirituality, but they have to be careful because Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune could be a deceiver. Pisces also rules the 12th house, which is all about endings, karma, and sacrifice. But you have to be careful because sometimes that Pisces energy sacrifices too much and can almost harm themselves because they're too busy taking care of someone else. This person is also a nurturer, as you can tell by that asteroid in the first house is Keras. Now, the second house is very interesting for the person on the right, as you have Aries, Saturn, and Vesta. All right, so for the chart on the right, that's Saturn conjunct Vesta in the second house. Definitely requires looking at. Give me a moment. So just let me look around a little bit.
Vesta is a priestess. Just so everybody understands, in the second house where you see Aries, you see Saturn, you see Vesta. Vesta is a priestess. She can deal with Virgo energy, home energy, priestess energy, but she can also deal with sex as well. And wherever you see Vesta in your chart, that's usually where you have to know when to take breaks, or otherwise you can burn yourself out. Vesta in Aries is good for non-routine projects requiring direct action, but the implication is that this is a person who's going to be focused and very intent on money, possessions, and finances and value system, because that's what the house number 2 is about. So when you see Vesta conjunct Saturn, it comes with a high passion, but could also even be ruthlessness to get what they want. And in this house, it would be money and possessions. Vesta conjunct Saturn could be a ruthless inner critic, can become reclusive. And this woman says she has Vesta conjunct Saturn, and her Pisces paid dearly for her inability to have boundaries. So again, this is a person that could actually get used by someone or some things because Pisces will sacrifice too much. So there's a lot of aggression there. There's a lot of inner things going on. Where Vesta resides, talking about the house, which is the second house. And it's also where you could be the most vulnerable. And like a Saturn Vesta comes somewhat of a protector. And Vesta is always going to bring a level of spirituality there. And we already saw this person was spiritual because of the Pisces. So in my opinion, this is the type of person that could bring a little spirituality to whatever they're doing, however they do it. But they're able to just bring spirituality to it. So a Vesta conjunct Saturn will have a strong sense of what they want to do in this life, but they'll also have a strong responsibility toward others. And Vesta can definitely represent sacred sex, because Vesta is a priestess. So this is going to be a workaholic. You see Saturn and Vesta could be a workaholic. Person may have sexual hangups, repression, and denial. But one thing they're not really commenting on, and but see, you would have to see, is usually for her chart to the right, you would need two charts, and I could show it to you better, but it would have to be the person. A lot of times when you see Vesta with Saturn, because an abusive masculinity, and it doesn't have to be a male, but it's an abusive masculine energy that Vesta doesn't like, because she hates abuse. So she'll stand there to defend against the abusive masculine energy of Saturn energy. And remember, Saturn rules the 10th house. So what's ever going on with this person in the 7th is definitely going to be in the 10th house as well. And also wherever you see Capricorn, which is her sun sign. So they said a person with Saturn in the 2nd house can fear poverty, even if everything's full. They'll still be worrying about not having money. They said this type of person might, italics, sell their soul for security or a big paycheck or payout. So this person is really getting affected right now, because that's what's going on in the universe. And you would have to learn more about that on all the videos I have on my 2 channels are public. So, But there's a lot going on with Saturn right now that has to do with definitely with the, like, you know, career and the career and reputation, but most of career. So they say if you're really listening to the Saturn energy, you'll move actually slow, steady. You'll want discipline and you'll want to learn. But because Aries is there, it's a strong power. It's a strong chance that this person may not learn the discipline, which will really stunt their growth to maturity. They say if your Saturn is well placed in house number 2, this person can benefit the most from investing the least. But if it's not placed well placed, then this person can be deprived of wealth, or just always be worried about money, possessions, finance. Person might be drawn. This person may be drawn to tangible areas, things that have real value, such as real estate, land, construction, contracting, crafts, masteries. Person may go to own a business, architecture, engineering, interior design, catering, being a restaurateur, starting a microbrewery, boutique salon, herbal products, aromatherapy. So the drive in her second house is to create substance in work and or at home or both. They want visible and tangible proof. Saturn can be a taskmaster that gets out of hand. But if this person isn't careful, they can suffer emotional anxiety, depression, repression, health issues, resentment, burnout, negative thinking, being worn down. And they're encouraging this person to look for collaborators instead of trying to do everything on their own. Saturn in the second house means their standards are high and they want to do things their way. They may have a strong sense of self-reliance. This person has to be careful about being inflexible and resistive to change. And they love to be in control because otherwise they have a fear of losing it, things that they're not in control. So this person, because I know we're talking about karma, because Saturn deals with karma. This person has got to learn to find joy in sharing, maybe trusting in the universe, or trusting in spirit, or trusting in God. And they have to learn how to be at peace with what they manifest in life. But that doesn't mean allowing their Pisces side to allow them to be taken advantage of. So there's a balance that has to be found. Saturn and Aries can cause a delayed development of ambition in your life. So this person may have to take on a large amount of responsibility even when they're very young. Obstacles may arise that cause them to block progress. They may have anxiety to deal with. Anger may be an issue. These people don't like to take risks. That may make them appear weak. And then others may try to overcompensate for that, so they take risks, but these risks are foolhardy, or they seem foolhardy. They can be very cautious and miss opportunities. They may be shy or withdrawn, or at least appear to be. Now they may be timid or withdrawn, but they can also get up in your face because, like I said, Aries aggression and Saturn could be pushy too. They are afraid of failure and rejection. They can have good concentration and reasoning skills. They may be a bit suspicious. They may try to force their views on right and wrong to others because they have control issues. They need skills in self-sufficiency, self-reliance to succeed. So they have to learn how to develop a social persona that'll help them overcome any feelings of self-doubt or fear. And then they have to learn to face life challenges with confidence. So to avoid circulatory issues, they have to learn how to have physical exercise. They may be prone to congestion, which can cause headaches due to the restricted flow. They have to drink enough water to flush out their kidneys to prevent problems. They have to learn what is worth the effort and what is not worth the effort. They have to learn which opportunities are worth the time needed. And when they learn that, that'll be a skill which can lead them to success or ruin. They say this person may experience a nice balance between impulsiveness and caution. And they say Saturn and Aries is usually a person that tries to know a situation because they don't want to go forward if they don't. Third house is ruled by Gemini, deals with creativity, short distance travel, siblings, people would say younger education mentality. Taurus rules the second house, about money and possessions. Taurus again, money, finances, value system. But this person right here might be a good communicator though, because you got Gemini and Taurus is very magnetic. People just tend to want to be around Tauruses. They'll try to follow Tauruses. They'll change what they previously wanted to do just to please a Taurus. But Tauruses also have to be careful of bullying, because sometimes they may be right, but they just come across as really trying to. They don't really want to give a person that option to, okay, I heard what you said, but I'm still going to do it my way. So Tauruses sometimes can be a little pushy. They don't want you to do it your way. They want you to do it the way they just told you because they felt like they just took so much time showing you. And why would you still want to do this a stupid way? So they have to be careful of that. Also, they have a problem with value systems because sometimes they try to treat a human being the same way they would treat a material possession. So you can't treat a human like a car or so you have to watch that value system. You can't value a human like you would a car or a vehicle. Third house is Gemini. Uh, Third house is ruled by Gemini, but you have Cancer, Taurus there. Second house is ruled by Taurus. You have Aries there. First house is ruled by Aries. You have Pisces there. Fourth house is ruled by Cancer. You have Gemini there. Her moon sign. The fourth house has to do with teenage education to adult education, land and property, real estate, family and ancestors, the heart, vehicles and travel. And also Aimon Coeli, and that would be the woman that raised her when she was younger years, in a mother position. And she works right with the moon. So you can see a Gemini type motherly presence there in the fourth house. Now, now if Sagittarius was there, you would assume that these could be foreign speaking people, or what we might perceive as foreigners, or some type of foreign connection to the family. Family might be in a foreign country or long distance. But with Gemini there, it could almost mean the opposite, but it could also mean something about some type of communications in the family. That's what the third house, Gemini rules the third house. It's about mental thoughts, communication, creativity, short distances. It could imply some type of breakup, short-lived situation. And definitely the third house ruled by Gemini deals with the siblings, brother and sisters and things of that nature. And again, Gemini deals with young ones as well. It's just like third grade education for young ones, so that could also be going on. And then fifth house follows up because fifth house is ruled by Leo. It's about having fun. It's also very creative, traveling, taking risk. And they have the family sign there. So that could also be about younger ones. And then the sixth house, which is about the home, has Leo there again. So this chart to the right definitely has a lot to do with young energy, young people. Because the home, again, even in the fifth house, you got Cancer, which could be the family or, younger adults, but it's all about fun and creativity. And then in the home sector, ruled by Virgo, which is all about service and healing, they once again have Leo, which is again about fun and children. Now that circle with the X in the middle is part of fortune, also called good fortune. And again, it's implying that the person will have good fortune as long as they have that fun Leo energy, even creative energy. Because you do have some families that are into entertainment, fun, like the Sister Sledge or things like that, where your family Going on to the 7th house. So definitely, with that vertex, this is the soulmate possibly, twin soul, twin flame. The twin soul is the twin flame. That would be the same soul, different body. And a soulmate can be anybody in your soul group, soul family, or soul tribe. And like I always said, really, everything comes from source. That's why you spell source SOURCE, and then you spell soul SOU. So you keep saying it SOU. And what people don't realize is you take two people that really don't like each other. If you put them on an island and let them know you're going to leave them there and they have to work together or they'll both die, they need each other, and you let them know we're leaving you and we're not telling you whenever we're coming back. So they might play that role. They could hate each other because of racial reasons or whatever. But they know they're on this island by themselves. They both got to work together to survive, and ain't nobody around. So who you gonna put a show on for? So it might take a little while, but once they start to realize they need each other and why are we mad? Nobody's here to not like nobody's gonna see us argue and all that. And they start talking or whatever stuff. Just like I said, the body takes over. People start getting hot. Next, they got this type of relationship going on. And by the time those people finally come back, they may not have that hatred they had for each other, and they might not even want to come back to our way of doing things. They might have started a family on an island and they just feel safe, and they don't even really remember why it was so much hate and why you were hating people you don't even know and all kind of crazy stuff. So that's your soul. The point I'm making is that's still a soul connection. And that's why if you watch two people at work, you can see people that work together go to school together. Like John might really like Sue, and he's not really that interested in Erica. He just thinks Erica, whatever. But he's interested in Sue or whatever. And then something goes, because that's how Taylor Swift got famous. She wrote that one song, basically telling him that girl you're with could never love you like I do and stuff like that. I still remember that song. But that's how it is, because then for some strange reason, that female you walk past billions of times, no interest whatsoever. Something changes, something goes wrong, or like I said, I worked at a job where this female was kind of interested in me, and I remember I cut my finger one time, and she was, "Oh, why you cut your finger?" And she's all interested, trying to help me and whatever. And then I was going home to another female. She didn't even notice that the finger was cut or the band-aid or anything. So it's little stuff like that. So all of a sudden you start noticing somebody differently that's been around you forever. But that's because it's always been a soul connection. So that's why people think, oh, no, it's this person. Oh, not really, because you could take another person and put them in a different scenario, and you may feel the same way about that person. It's all a soul tribe. It's all a soul group. And generally speaking, the people that are around you are usually people you've had past life connections with. That's why sometimes you just see a person staring at you for no reason. Even like somebody might tell you, "Oh, I'm not attracted to you. I don't even think you're that attractive," but they still are still staring at you or trying to connect with you some type of level. And you say, "This person just got finished telling me that they're not attracted to me at all. So why are they still looking at me?" Because it's all the soul connections. So soulmates, your soul tribe, soul group, twin soul is your twin flame, one soul, two different bodies share that same soul. So when you see that cross that's in the 7th house, the vertex at 22, and that's the big twin flames number, 1111. And she's got it over there on her Venus, 22. Her EP is 22. And the medium coeli is 17 degrees, which can be karma. But it's also at 22, but that's 22 minutes, not 22 degrees. So when you see your vertex, that's going to be some type of significant event, fated event, significant breakup. It could be a soul meeting. It could be a twin flame or twin soul meeting. But this person is destined to have it. In the relationship sector of the 7th house, and that is part of her life purpose. Now, right away, the other person might be jumping up and down. Well, that's me. I'm the Virgo. I'm the Virgo. See? And just for the record, the person to the left, they're going to have a Virgo connection for their true north node. It's a Virgo and a 6th house connection because of Juno. So they have a 4th house, which is, your family, and then 6th house, which is home connection. And they'll find themselves in a serious relationship in those houses. So what I'm saying is sometimes you just have a soul connection with a person. Soul tribe, soul family. It could be karmic connection, but sometimes it's just a soul connection. But it feels good, it's wonderful, and sometimes your soulmate, you get along way better than your twin. Sometimes twin flames, just because the energy is too similar and they just can't get along. But yeah, you'll be all kind of crazy, and some people won't want to budge an inch for their twin flame, but they'll be all over their soulmate. And some people, because they don't understand what a soulmate or twin flames is, they go, well, I know this is my twin. I know this is my twin. We get along perfect. We never argue. We think alike. But that's still your soulmate. That's not your twin. And like I said, the only way you can really know that is your natal chart. Because you'll see the natal chart is the blueprint. Everybody has their own way of doing it. And at the end, if that's what they believe, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to believe what they want to anyway. They don't care that's what they believe. And that's how most people are. It's like, oh, this person can't be my twin because all they do is hurt my feelings. But the truth is, your twin flame generally is going to hurt your feelings. You guys are going to separation unless you really want to both get past that. And as much as people out here on YouTube complicate this, it's not that complicated. It's almost like anything else. You may meet somebody who wants to talk and wants to have a relationship with you, and you guys get along a lot better. You may meet somebody that wants to take you through all this crazy stuff, and they really don't want a relationship anyway. That's why they never want to really talk about anything, because they really don't want a relationship. At least not with you. And you can meet somebody who just won't open up to you, and then they'll open up to somebody else. And you'll wonder why. I did everything for this person. I love this person. I sacrificed for this person. I gave everything for this person. They never would open up. But then they meet somebody else and they open. So that's this life on this planet. And like the more people start to realize what I'm saying and implement it, the better off your life will get. Because like I said, this Pisces right here, this ascendant Pisces, they're going to have problems with giving too much to people or whatever. And that aggression, I got to get money. I got to take care. I got to get money. I got to get money. But yeah, but you're way aggressive. And as much as you think you're doing that for the kids or the family or your mom or somebody, it may not be the right way. And see, when you see natal charts like this, see the chart on the left, that Lilith and Juno may be in the same house, but you just never really know. So yeah, this person, it's her life purpose to be in some type of a serious relationship with some type of Juno, a Libra energy. Because Libra is the 7th house. So these one definitely got a soul connection. And the 7th house is ruled by Leo. The 7th house is ruled by Libra. The 6th house is ruled by Virgo. So going into the 8th house, ruled by Scorpio. And see, now you look over there, and there you see the vertex with a Scorpio with Chiron. And they both got Chiron. Yeah, this is really... This is really close. All right, so Juno conjunct Lilith. Okay, what just happened? All right, give me a second, cause I hate when I do something and I get there and they're not even talking about what I'm looking for. It just throws me off. So they're saying, let me just try to show it to you. All right, let me just read some of this. So they're saying when you have like a Lilith or like a Lilith Juno connection or some type of Lilith Leo Libra connection, this is going to be a person who's intensely looking for love or some type of, they really want somebody with them. And that's kind of what you got it with both these charts. But I gotta give, they do have a lot of like real similar placements. And anytime you see Scorpio, Scorpio can be very intense. But that's really what you're seeing with these two people. So remember, Scorpio is about intensity, and I always give out the free report to those who requested the natal charts before. And like I said, it's no problem. But the list on everything that's happened in the 8th house of Scorpio. But it's gonna be other people, but it's still relationship, sharing everything. Like the person on the right, she really would share everything. Like in some ways, she really would be. If somebody's looking for like a real relationship, it probably would be this person, especially on the right. From the Pisces to the Libra and the Juno and the Lilith and the 8th house, because that's intensity. And because some people like that, but it's just hard. Because you may be the, because I was just reading, that's what the person was saying online. Like some people want to be with somebody. Like, I really want to be with you. I want to be with you. No, it's okay. I'll just be with you. And be looking at TV, laid up in bed together, go to the store together. Like, a lot of the times you see them two, they're like together. But a lot of people can't do that. Or because they're together so much, they really stress each other out. And it actually backfires. But they're saying this type of person, they really like it like that. Ninth house is Sagittarius with Scorpio. So again, it's going deep. But Sagittarius is always the more mature energy usually. And Sagittarius can be a really good friend, a good healer. And that's why Chiron is there for the healing. Philosophy, religion, long distance relationship, higher courts, higher authorities. But it can also represent maturity. So again, you see healing, maturity. Like I said, the person on the right is definitely ready more so for something more long term. And then you have it in the career sector. That could be traveling, could be a teacher, like a higher educational teacher, higher education, some type of healing, because Sagittarius is a healer, some type of maybe counseling. And she's a great communicator too. So this is definitely a very career-minded, looking like a successful person. Because remember, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and then maybe even things with technology, with Pluto being right there. So let's say Pluto in the 10th house. And this is gonna go back to her second house. See what's unique about this person? She don't mind sharing. That's why they're kind of connecting the second house with that Taurus energy and everything. So like the 8th house and the second house. But she really doesn't mind sharing. That's why with her, it wouldn't necessarily be a threat. Because some people they're taking advantage of you, or you give so much and then you're lacking. All right. So give me a moment. All right. So we did Pluto in the 10th house. We're going to do that now. And then Pluto in Sagittarius. So this person, well, you can see that in the second house with Saturn, but this person probably will be some type of figurehead, but they may have their own possible personal philosophy, because that would be a little bit of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is like looking for your own personal truth. So they desire social power and status, but they may still have a problem with manipulating others or ruthlessly using others, just like they said in the second house. Say Pluto is ruthless, and then retribution. Well, so is Scorpio, because Pluto rules Scorpio. Like they know how to get revenge. But they're warning this person, and she better not like do somebody dirty, because they said it'll get you back. Either the law or the legal. Because you gotta remember, like, higher laws. See, like when you deal with smart people, like I remember this one dude, and they used to call him Brainiac. He wasn't necessarily a thug or a criminal, but he was real smart. So he still ended up in jail. He was still in jail because, he had used his brain to try to get, it was higher crimes. So they say a lot of times politicians have this type of chart placement that she has, and the type of people that have control over a public. And they said Richard Nixon had a placement similar, but he got caught with scandal and things like that. And they said their career or public image may be associated with death and rebirth because of Pluto. So this person might constantly be reinventing themselves. I just heard a little bit about Sylvester Stallone recently, which I knew about him a lot before, but people were saying how he's the master of rebirthing himself. But they said one thing about him, like they said he's really, they said two things about him. He's very honest, and they said he really is like, a lot of people have intensity. They say he's really like that. Like if you're in a fight scene with him, he's like, he don't care who you are. He'll say, bring it. They said he said it to Stone Cold. They said even Stone Cold Steve Austin had to say, wow, this dude is really tough. And back then they said Austin was one of the toughest dudes in the ring. And they said even he had to say that Sylvester Stallone was very tough. And all you got to do right now is go to YouTube and watch the scene from Rocky where he took on Hulk Hogan. And most of that I think was him. That wasn't even a stunt double, I don't think. They say he's messed up his back, he's messed up his neck, because he could have just got a stunt double, but he does a lot of that stuff. And I think that's why Rambo was so good, was because Sylvester Stallone he's really that tough. So those type of people had those type of placements that's very intense, and then they're not afraid. So this person's career plans may go through many changes. And they can also revitalize businesses. So if they want to make money, if they don't already have a lot, they could help revitalize businesses. So anybody with Pluto and Sagittarius, they're going to love to explore. And see, remember, things like Pluto and Mercury deal with different sciences and things like that. So the same thing with anything with Scorpio or 8th house energy, that's technology and science. And these type of people look for like alternative ways of spirituality and religion. And they're innovative. Like they'll always develop a new way of doing things, and they love to travel. They're free thinkers. They cannot tolerate boredom. And I'm gonna get back to what I said. And that's to me that's one of the main reasons why Vesta is there, because Vesta doesn't like anything that's gonna restrict them, and that's what Saturn will try to do. And this person likes risk. They're nonconformists. Very optimistic people. They focus on the answers and the solutions and not just on the negative. But they can be too optimistic, leaping before looking. They can rush headlong into situations that may cause later regret. They can act foolishly at times for the reasons I just said, but that could be their downfall. They hate being humiliated, even if it's only for a moment. And it bothers them. Say, if they do something, nobody else in the room caught it, but they know, so it'll still mess with them. Or what they start to do, instead of living up to their errors, they gloss over them, or they create justifications for them. Now, Capricorn in the 11th house is someone who is, this is friends, association, and groups. So they use those people for career as well. Because Capricorn is always going to be about career and reputation. And then Neptune's right there, but it's about to leave the 11th house. But Neptune, again, you're going to deal with telepathy, because these people, again, are tapped in, not only just tapped into the world around them, but they can be tapped into other things too. And that goes through Neptune, as well as Leo, as well as Sagittarius, even Uranus. And the Neptune can make a person be very idealistic, but you have to be careful, because life is not always idealistic, it's realistic. And then whatever's going on in that 11th house is being transmitted to her first house, or her personality. And then right in the 12th house, which is still the 11th house. Now, the reason why Aquarius is in her 12th house, because she's had problems with people. And you see Uranus, you see Venus is right there, but at 0 degrees. And 0 degrees usually means the novice, like the person is not really prepared. But remember, the 12th house is ruled by Pisces. Pisces and Venus means unconditional love. But that's my point. Really, you have to be careful, because you don't want to love people unconditionally if they're not loving you the same way. And if you notice, she has a lot of 7 degrees. And that's very interesting to me. And this one over here also has, right in Sagittarius. So this is how you know these two was meant to be together, one way or another. Now, is it twin flames? And that's an interesting question. But I can tell you for a fact they were meant to go through this life. They were meant to meet, and they probably had past relationships as well. Yup, and you keep saying it. You keep seeing it. See, now you got Uranus and Aquarius even over there with Venus again. So I would, like me, I would have to say definitely twins. Now I think this is two females. I could be wrong. But then somebody said, I don't know how could two females be twins? One has to be masculine, one has to be feminine. And I would add, that's just the mysteries of the universe. And Saturn may hold that answer, because if you notice, it's a lot of Saturn, a lot of Capricorn, and a lot of 10th house stuff. So Saturn may hold that answer, but I personally wouldn't have it for you. So all right, Aquarius is in the 12th house because, and she also has a guardian angel. So with Jupiter, this person can never, as long as she's helping other people, she's always going to have money. And when things don't look good for her, Jupiter will come in and start blessing her again. Mars can bring a lot of intensity. Palace is really going to help you see patterns, but also help you with social issues. And that's what the 12th house is about, helping other people. But it's a lot going on in the 12th house. But I think she has a very innovative because of Uranus and Aquarius, probably dealing with technology as well. But the goal is to teach the people in the 12th house to be more sociable with others and maybe help others. But then she has to be careful that she doesn't allow herself to be burned out by these people. So she has to learn that. And Mars really can just really be high intensity. But I mean, she's been being effective by the last 4 months or so, 5 months, because a lot of stuff we're talking about on her chart is what's been going on in the universe for the last 4 months or so. Mars in the in Aquarius, that's like Mars in the 11th house. This is friends, association, groups. This can be motivation. This can even be maybe having problems with other people. People may be jealous of you. So you're really looking at Mars conjunct. And they say it again, Mars conjunct Jupiter is the adventurer. Like I said, this is the type of person that can make money giving boat trips and bus trips to other people, setting them up, and then the people pay them and stuff. This person, because of the Jupiter conjunct Mars, makes a good leader, inspiring courage, confidence in others. They usually have good health and high vitality. More courageous, brave, fearless, taking risks, ignoring possible negative consequences. But they may overexert themselves, especially when they're getting older and they're still trying to do what they used to do. Or when they're having sports or exercises, they really they go all out and hurt themselves. So they have to learn to know their limits, and that's again a lesson. Learn their limits. They're energetic, resourceful, frank, outspoken, pioneering, adventurous.
So they will take an executive ability and an entrepreneurial attitude towards business ventures. You stand for your beliefs, and you will be a formidable opponent in any kind of battle or competition. Person is very self-confident. They have a strong will to succeed. They never rest on their laurels. You want to keep on going. Now that's the Aquarius there. You enjoy learning information and then sharing it with others. That's the Aquarius. So this person can have success in broadcasting, teaching, travel, marketing, publicity, advertising, or internet business. And now we're going to find out what those sevens mean on her chart. 7 degrees Pisces. In fact, let me do it this way. Make it a lot easier. Obliging, passive, gentle character. But they have magnetism or gifts of the occult. We already talked about, especially with that Taurus energy. This person will enjoy long-lasting happiness and love, and perhaps an early marriage. So they really want somebody with them as they enjoy life. Seven degrees Aquarius. Independent, wise, courageous character. One regards freedom as a priceless treasure and pays little attention to worldly goods. This degree describes or symbolizes the dilemma between freedom and security with all its restraints. Freedom with all its uncertainties and security with all its constraints. Now they have to be careful of depredation of liberty caused by political reasons. See what happens sometimes? You'll have a good person, but they say, hey, listen, the only way we can get this done is to do it this way. And they go illegal or they do something unethical and they get caught. So now you got this person that they treat them just like a criminal because what they did was kind of like unethical or illegal, but they were tricked because they thought it was for a good reason. They thought the end justified the means. And that's why I said notice that's in the house of other people. I told you, because that'll be your doom.
So you got to watch that friends association and the groups Aquarius energy in the 11th house and in the 12th house. Because remember, the 12th house is about isolation or incarceration. It's about buildings such as courtrooms, prisons, mental wards, hospitals. And in 7 degrees Sagittarius, carefree, careful, optimistic character. Decisions are left to chance and external circumstances, and most often the easy option prevails. One lives from day to day and relies on good luck, so because they got a good connection with Jupiter. Though precarious, success may be achieved in speculation activities or in the stock exchange business, provided that work is carried out under strict supervision and that all foolhardy initiatives are forbidden. It says, so precarious success may be achieved in speculation activities or in the stock exchange business, provided that work is carried out under strict supervision and that all foolhardy initiatives are forbidden. And maybe that's why you got a Saturn hanging out. You're dealing with Sagittarius, but remember, it's all SA energy. And when you think of SA, you think of sergeant, like a drill sergeant, because that's what he's supposed to do too. Whip your ass into shape. Like soon as you get on that military base or whatever base you get on, you got a sergeant in your face teaching you how it's going to be. Breaking down any conceptions you had and letting you know you're not in your world no more. We don't want to hear that crap you're talking about. This is the U.S. military. This is how we do things. You're not going to, we don't raise no mama boys. You can't tap out. Blah, blah, blah. You are going to do this. You will get up. In fact, drop right now and give. So he's teaching you a whole new way of looking at life, because that's the only way you're going to make it in war or military, is you got to get past any form of freedom you had outside of the U.S. military. Because you're not gonna tell nobody no. You ain't telling nobody nothing until you got some rank. Until you get some rank, you get down, you do this, you get to run, you do that. If you fall out, we're gonna make you wish you never fell out. Boom, boom, boom. You'll be asleep. We'll come wake you up early in the morning, bam, banging on things, waking you up, pushing you out of that bed, yelling at you, telling you you ain't nothing, you better do this and all that. When they're done with you in the military, you forget all about your own personality. You understand the collective. Yes, sir. And if that dude's doing his job right, you know he represents the highest of authority, even if he's just one rank higher than you. And in a way, when you understand life, it's kind of like that. The less you see it your way, the better off you'll be. Because no matter who you are, unless you really have a lot of power or authority, you're going to go somewhere where you're not going to be able to have your way anyway. Not saying you're a pushover, but you learn to just let go. Like, why am I really here? Am I here to argue with these crazy people every day? Am I here to show these people you can't boss me around? Or am I here to make sure I get that paycheck? If you're there to make sure you get that paycheck, then you stay active doing whatever you need to do to get that paycheck. And don't get me wrong, like I said, sometimes you may have to stand up for yourself, but sometimes you can just let things go. Because other days, you will be arguing every day with people, because people are going to try you every day. That does end this reading. Very unique, very unique, very unique reading. Learn more about the person on the right, because like I said, we did do the person on the left a while ago. But it's an interesting hookup. But like if I did both these charts because of the reasons I already said, I would say yeah, they probably are twins. They got health, they got sign connections, house connections, and just strange alignments. Strange alignments, and they almost mimic each other. So it is like a twin flame chart, but they are that way sometimes. It could still just be a unbelievable soul connection, or not. Like I said, I don't always have all the answers, but I went as far as we can go with this. So remember, we got sales going on. The newsletter is out. If you don't already have the newsletter, look at the ad on this channel. I just did the newsletter ad. Also, like I said, I have another channel that members subscribe to go to that one. I talk about that in that ad as well. So that's all I can. And like I said, a lot of sales going on. Can check the description box below, or you can always contact. Can also make sure you have the most updated services offered and price list, and also see any sales you might be interested in. That's what this person today took advantage of the sales. God bless.